like.
If you fast for like a day or two, you just feel like your whole system reset.
Yeah.
I'm not saying eating. I'm not saying like eat nothing, but just don't eat anything.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Don't eat
Yo.
for a good like.
Yes, sir.
16 hours or something.
Go ahead and get him in.
Talk about Jay.
Get him in. What is Gucci, y'all? What's going down?
Good evening.
You know what I'm saying? Let me fix this so we can all see each other, man. I don't want to do this.
What's up? What's good?
What's going on? We got Fire Chicken here. Okay.
What's
you know
up?
What I'm saying? Getting it cracking. We got the Viking Warrior right there. You know what I'm saying? Getting it cracking. You know, LB3 should be on here pretty soon. Let me go ahead and throw the intros in here, man. We are the Fight Team 206. Today's show is being sponsored by absolutely no fucking body, but it's okay though. We'll get there one day pretty soon. Today's a special show. You know what I'm saying? We'll go over some issues and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my earlier thing, you know, in case you guys joined a little later, man, we lost us a warrior, but we gained us a soldier. You know what I'm saying? Guy got a soldier. You know what I'm saying? J-Gottem. The wife put together a little show for Jay. You know what I'm saying? So I got something to show later on when everybody's on here. You know what I'm saying? Great event yesterday, which was very solid. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I gotta try to get everybody in this joint. I gotta do it that way. Yeah, I'm trying to get it. You might want to scoot up some, hit my loose, so that looks a lot better. Okay, so how's everybody doing, man? How's everybody going, man? It was a great event yesterday. They had a great tribute for Jay, which was dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? With the balloons and everything else. I felt like everything went smooth. What about you guys, man? How you guys doing today?
Doing good. I'm a little beat up. It was a long day yesterday, man. We probably were out there for, I think, getting out there at 8:30 in the morning. We put in about 10 and a half hours running around out there. So 7-hour live. It was a long event.
Okay. Yeah, it was 7 hours.
No?
Yeah.
30 fights, no? Crazy.
Sorry, what?
30 fights.
Oh, 26, I think.
26.
That's
Still close. Still close. Viking, baby. How you doing, man? How you been, fam?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How y'all doing, fellas?
Oh, you know, we here, man.
Good.
We here. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for a couple more hands to pop in, and I'm gonna shoot this tribute, man. The wife made, and I got the pictures from my guy King Qualo. So we got a little tribute for Jay. I'm gonna let everybody see that in just a second. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was pretty dope how she did that. You know what I'm saying? With a little bit of help of me, but you know what I'm saying? She put the magic in there. You feel me? Before we get into all that, man, like I said before, man, we want to say rest in peace to J-Gottem, man. Also, Showtime from Street Beefs, the OG branch. He died too. Yeah, he got shot. I guess he was throwing hands with somebody. Somebody put the banger on him. You know what I'm saying? Some more bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
R.I.P. J-Gottem, R.I.P. Showtime, man. You know, man, there's too many people been dying too young, man. You know, it's just I know a lot of people personally. You know, it's a sad thing. To those guys and their family, man, condolences.
Crazy shit. One of the fighters from Warriors too.
Yeah, one of the fighters from he was working in a mine, silver mine, and then I think there was an accident.
Damn.
He was like 26, jacked. He had a wife, a young little boy. It sucks to have just good people and good men get taken from this world and what the whole it leaves behind and how it affects society as a whole, families and stuff.
Yeah, that shit, man. It does. It sucks. It sucks. Major ball sack. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I know there's a lot of other channels or whoever the fuck's out there. They're trying to do some, you know what I'm saying, help out Jay and shit like that. And you know, I know Heart and the Fight's doing their thing tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you know, shout out to Heart and the Fight. I mean, you know, I really don't fuck with those dudes like that, but you know what I'm saying? It's all Jesus. You feel me? No, it's all good. It's all Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They're doing a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That which I appreciate. They're doing a good thing. You know, I can't say nothing about that. So, you know, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I was pretty sad I missed out yesterday.
There was a lot of people there, bro. A lot of turnout. Ponyboy was there, I believe. The preacher's son came there. He was there. Your boy Doughboy was there.
I wanted to see that.
Yeah, Doughboy was there. That was interesting.
Yeah. Supposed to.
Does he ever talk about fighting?
He was supposed to fight, right?
He was. That match was set up yesterday. It was supposed to be our 155-pound champion Isaiah versus former 155-pound champ Doughboy, and that was like their. I mean, it was a title match first off, but like Isaiah won the title. He didn't win it from Doughboy. Doughboy vacated it, so he's technically only lost to one person, and that was Beach over in the East Coast. So it was supposed to be, Isaiah only lost in MMA was to Gumby.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
So I mean, this was supposed to be just a huge matchup, and man, I don't know. I got to find out more about it. But like Doughboy told me, like I was trying to get a hold of him over and over again because 1 o'clock came around. I'm like, dude, where are you? And I'm looking around. And I see him kind of standing around, and like, you ready? And he's like, no, I left my wallet at the hotel. And I go, well, I mean, that's not that big of a deal. He's called the hotel really quick, and they'll grab it. And I don't know. He just didn't. He kind of said he didn't really feel like fighting, and so that's a long trip, man. That's all the way from Springfield, Illinois.
Who?
For Doughboy.
Doughboy.
Oh fuck!
Sorry, y'all. We was having some technical difficulties with Viking Warrior. Hopefully, he'll log back in here pretty soon.
Yeah, man.
I see him there. He's trying to log in. Let me see if I can get him in here. Viking, you there? Can you hear us, bro?
Besides that, though, how was the event, Steve? I wonder when he's trying to work that out.
So the event, for many reasons, was just this huge success. For one, the remembering Jay, bringing everybody together. I feel like even though it was a sad time, it still brought people closer together. And I think the community grew a little bit yesterday, and we formed a lot more bonds with each other. And I told people at the beginning, I said, you know what? If you're new, kind of branch out and meet some people today. Don't just stick to your little circle that you traveled with. Get some pictures with people. We're not a backyard fight club. We're a community, and we've always tried to be there for each other in one way or another. So I want to keep that going as much as possible because Jay was very much a part of that. He almost was the foundation of the community. I mean, he brought fighters together. He coached fighters. He cornered fighters.
He did.
It didn't matter if him and you got into it. And I mean, it could be like the next month he's in your corner telling you how to fight,
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy because we had him on the show with Baby Gorilla, and right after that, he started coaching him.
Yeah.
Like
he was coaching him. You know what I'm saying? And they did the fundraiser for him, which I think turned out very, very well.
We did really well on the fundraiser yesterday. Actually,
the fundraiser turned out well because I know I got a shirt from Buddy V, and I got one from Team Picciotto as well. So
did you have a J-Gottem shirt?
I got two J-Gottem shirts, bro. I got one that says I got one that's got his name on it. Then I got another one with his picture on it, bro. But it's like stenciled out. It's dope, bro.
That stencil one out was
dope, bro. Yeah,
that shit looked like a fucking
like a
$60 shirt.
How do you get one? You have a website? You can freaking buy one, ship it out.
So different people made different shirts yesterday. Len and Buddy V, I think, were teamed up on one, and then I'll be honest, like there was so much contribution going on.
There was a lot going on.
Hard for me to like really remember where each thing came from. People brought baked goods. I mean, everyone was just so generous with their donations, and I mean it really helps because 100% of it, goes to Jay's family. Mm-hmm. And that's what the drive was all about yesterday is helping out with that. But other than that, biggest event I think we've ever had. cool seeing a lot of faces we haven't seen in a while. Like you said, Pony Boy and Preacher's Son.
Yeah,
There he is.
There he is.
Yo, what's happening, sir?
Yo, tune in. So shout out Daniel, hard on the fight. He's the one that made the Gottem shirts that I was
Was that the
handing
stencil one?
out. The ones that look anime.
Bro, those are
Those
fire.
were dope,
Man,
bro.
did a great job. Man, so
As
shout
soon
out
as I
Daniel,
seen it,
bro.
I had to have one, bro. As soon as I seen that joint, I had to have one, bro.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So we got more in the making. Buddy V is making them. So some for
You got like a
donation.
website or a link or something like that where we could purchase, maybe have it shipped out.
It might be on maybe Buddy V's website, Zool. Maybe.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. I know you have difficulties, baby.
Just message him.
Hey, shout out to Napalm, one of our fighters. He made us some sweatshirts yesterday. He made one for me, one for Viking Warrior, and one for J-Gottem. And it says J-Gottem down the sleeve, and it has our name on the back. So we're gonna. I'm gonna give mine to Len and
Do y'all
have
hear
him
me?
put.
Yes.
I'm
Can you
gonna give
hear
it
us?
to Len and have him put the Peixoto emblem on it, or maybe the stencil or something. But it was really cool having those sweatshirts made for us too. You got yours right, Viking?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Here we go again. He gonna get it right. Don't worry. You gonna get it right.
People keep calling me, bro. I'm like, stop calling me at this time.
Bro, hit that dude not disturb.
Yeah, put it on airplane mode.
No, airplane mode, he won't be able to talk to us.
Oh, that's the see, look, me, I'm learning something new today. Really? Damn.
Airplane mode will still connect you to Wi-Fi if you're on it, but if they're calling on Messenger, you'll still get called too, right?
Yeah, either way, it's interrupting my fucking podcast time. Let me get my time.
There might be like a do not disturb like thing on it, so you can just be in that one app. I don't know. I'd have to look, but maybe we'll get lucky.
Is he hopping on?
Lynn should be hopping on too.
Yeah,
He should be on.
Yeah.
I'll shoot him a message.
Yeah, Lynn should be hopping on, man.
Should be on right.
So with the fights yesterday, I want to talk about a fighter that I think is a fucking savage, bro. And that's Malik Ogun.
Oh yeah.
That dude's the real deal, bro. He's bro, and the fight with Jimmy was a great fight.
Yeah.
It was a great fucking fight. But then I think when you start feeling that boy's power, you start. It just starts. It's just a lot, man.
Hey,
it's
no
a
spoilers,
lot.
though.
I'm not trying to spoil nothing, but he throws with bad intent. Like both them dudes were throwing to hurt each other.
Jimmy looked good too. His I would say he definitely improved since his last fight. His cardio looked better this time. Because Malik was throwing the entire time. And he was trying to counter everything and throw the same too. So he was having to keep up with Malik's pace this time. But I feel like last time the pace wasn't maybe not as heavy.
Boxing.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. I'm not trying to spoil nothing, but I will say that Jimmy did hit Malik with one that kind of starched him a little bit, bro.
The uppercut.
Yeah, no, it was that. I don't want to say. I don't want to say where it was at.
He put him to sleep a little bit. He said
he starched him, bro. Like, and he time skipped him. Yeah, he hit Malik with a nasty one. I was like, ooh, bro. He was like, okay, let me wake back up.
We should follow up with the Tank Garcia after that.
Oh, you see? We'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? So look, y'all, I got 11 people on right now. I'm gonna show this tribute real quick. If y'all all right with that, I'm just going to throw this out there, man. Let me go ahead and put this on, man. Can y'all see that screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just see here.
What new format you guys fire?
Wake them up, wake them up, wake them up. Hey.
Scrap talk.
Hey. Let's go. That's that boy Gottem.
There he is.
Being the
Always
great
fun to
coach
see.
that he is. Coaching your boy.
Yep.
That champ. Champ is here.
Still
Oh,
the champ.
Yeah.
you know it. Hey, the three amigos.
Got the candidates. This is all that same event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Jay in the back. Oh, dude. He said you can.
Yeah. All right, man. There it is, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw it on my YouTube channel too, and let everybody see that, man. You know what I'm saying? They put it together. That's what the photos I had. Shout out to my boy King Qualo with the photos, man. He hooked me up with all them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you said Jimmy hit Malik with a straight. Yeah, bro. He hit him with one, bro. That starched him, dog. Like he was frozen in time. You know what I'm saying?
Good looking, Pete.
Hey, good looking on the little video.
Oh yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the wife, man. You know what I'm saying? She tells me what to do, and I just got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Put that on there. Okay, hold on. Well, I don't like that picture. That picture needs to be over here. All right.
Good, Derek.
You know what I'm saying? What's up, D? He's on there, man.
What's up?
I'm my fault, y'all. I'm over here going through this.
Bear, what's up, man?
Going through this shit, man. You know
What's
what
going on, Mandy?
Solo.
Ben?
That boy Solo, my dude.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, so yeah, this event, man, you know what I'm saying? I like how everybody came together the way they did, you know what I'm saying? And I hope it continues to come together, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to lose people to find new relationships and find the love again with people, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people that showed up we ain't seen for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They came and you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't take for people we lose people for people to come together like that. It should be an everyday thing, it should be all the time thing. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate everybody coming out there. They have some funny moments out there, especially with your boy Lights Out. That dude, man, look, man, I'm just saying, Lights Out shouldn't be giving people MMA advice. That's all I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, but I, you know, like I understand he really wants to help out. I get that, and you know,
He's got great energy, man.
He's got great energy.
He does.
He's got great energy. You know what I'm saying? But like I always fuck with him too because I always tell him I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying? So like he at the event he said I'm gonna make you like I came there. He seen me, came up to me, said I'm gonna make you a fan today. I said all right, but I didn't get to see the fight. So you know what I'm saying? I didn't get to stay for his fight, but I mean. I like the kid, you know what I'm saying? But you know, it takes shit like that to give him a little motivation. You know,
for real.
It's just
Keep him on his toes, you know.
Male role model for these youngsters.
Yeah.
You know, I saw I could sense that in Jay. Like he gave that tough love, especially to Gorilla. What's his name?
Baby Gorilla.
Baby Gorilla. You know, he's like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson, but I'm also gonna
And
give you advice if you're with
wing.
you know.
And then he took him under his wing and started training him. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was pretty cool.
No, but sometimes with these youngsters, that's what it takes, though. You
That's
know?
what it takes.
You gotta prove it to them first.
It takes it.
You know?
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I got my ass whipped one time by old dudes. I was 16 in a bar, talking crazy. Dude beat me up and showed me his pistol. Said I was gonna kill you, but you needed somebody to whoop that. Yeah, I was like, all right. Then I started choosing who the fuck I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? You like, okay. You know what I'm saying? You start really looking like shit. I don't know. This motherfucker looks like he might be on some other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm crazy. My dad always told me the way you do it crazy, you show them you a little crazier, and they won't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And with Jay, bro, Jay was. It's with me and Jay. It's like it's hard to. I come from an era that's starting to become a dinosaur breed. You know what I'm saying? Like my era is starting to be forgotten more and more. And so when you connect with somebody who's from that same era and kind of understands the method to your madness, that's hard to find with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to connect with people on that type of culture. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard because like with you guys, when you guys get to your 40s and 50s, you're like, damn, man, we was doing that back then. That shit's gonna start to fade, and the people you know they start to fade. You're like, damn, you want to not forget. So it's always good to have somebody like that to make you remember.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
part of your like your cultural tribe.
Yeah, just know
the
that
same
just know that
values.
era. You know, because there's certain things like there's certain things I've talked to Jay, and it's like the things he says is like you have to live that for you to understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like you just can't say certain things like damn bro, you have to live that for you to say that. Then there's people who say things were like, okay, yeah, all right, whatever.
They say
You know?
it, but they haven't like been through it. They haven't felt it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're throwing these messages out, man. They got people just thank you guys for commenting, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was an amazing event, man. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys ain't subscribed, man. Go to Street Beam Scrapyard if y'all ain't subscribed to that either. Yeah, Baby Gorilla did get in the ring yesterday. Freak accident, you know what I'm saying? You know those Taekwondo guys, man. When I see kickboxing fights and I see kicks that like a little suspect, you know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of fear.
That kid is outside.
He's outside, man, playing with the squirrels and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Running around. Hey, but but look though, man, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? The
Hey,
shit was dope.
What was
Go
your
ahead.
favorite? What was your favorite fight from yesterday?
Yesterday
Yeah.
was the high speed
Yes.
in the homeless homeboy. That
No,
was his name, right?
no. High speed. The guy's name is Thunderhead.
Thunderhead.
You said
Yeah.
I thought it was homeless homeboy.
No, homeless homeboy fought. The homeless homeboy fought. Shit, dude, I can't. I'm thinking here. He didn't fight. We had, like I said, 25, 26 matches. So
Yeah.
He just gave him the name homeless.
I gave him the name homeless homeboy, bro, because he looked like he just came out of a fucking sleeping bag and came from the fucking mountains. Like
you
from the
gave him
heavens.
the name? No, he already had the name that.
No, you said his name was Thunderhead?
Yeah, okay, yeah. But there was a guy named Homeless Homeboy there.
Yeah, I thought that was the home. I mean, look, he looked like his name should have been the homeless homeboy.
Yeah.
Turtle, I want to see you in 2 months, bro. You talking that good game. I want to see you there.
He's from Alaska. I think he maybe he lived outdoors in Alaska.
Homeless homeboy fought the comedian, huh?
That's it. Yes.
Napalm was happening. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Yeah, that fight with high speed and Thunderhead.
That will
fight,
be
bro,
out tomorrow.
fucking incredible. That fight was incredible.
Muay Thai, beautiful. Those guys were just. I don't want to give away who won the fight, but the matching on that the matchmaking on that couldn't have been any better. I mean, those guys were just.
When you seen the size difference between the two, and then you looked at him, you were kind of like, high speed's about to run through this dude.
It's only 10 pounds.
How much was it?
10 pounds.
But he was short though.
So I got the stats in front of me. 5'8", 195 for Thunderhead. 5'10", so 2 inches taller, and 205.
He didn't look 190 pounds to me. He looked like he was at least 170, 160.
Damn, okay.
Yeah, Thunderhead, but bro, when I'm telling you, when he checked that first kick, I said, "Ooh, high speed got problems, bro.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be a problem, dog." And like nobody, I'm telling you, watch, bro. When you see it,
you see it in about the first 10 seconds of the fight. Just the way Thunderhead's hips move, you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be a good fight."
I would have paid to see that fight. That's the type of fight right there I would have paid for. I would have paid for a
100%.
Yeah. And then Viking, did you fight yesterday?
He was supposed to. I don't know what happened with matchmaking yesterday, but I told them those two were supposed to fight, and then they switched stuff around on me.
I'm sorry, my guy Viking, he froze on me again. It's okay. He be having difficulties with his phone, man. So he'll be back in here pretty soon. Look, you know it, man.
We had another person make it to the Wall of Fame yesterday, and I don't want to tell you who it is because then it would be spoiling the outcome.
Is Lights Out in the Hall of Fame?
What?
I think yeah, he was already on there. Lights Out's already been on the Hall of Yeah.
Lights Out's fought like 35 times. Okay, not that many, but he's fought a lot.
Hold on, wait a minute. Somebody went to the wall yesterday?
Somebody made it on the wall. Look. If you talk about it right now, you're going to figure it out.
Well, this is a record then, huh?
You don't want to discuss it?
I mean, if I don't really...
Is it a knockout? Don't tell me I lost the record.
No, Wall of Fame. So
you gotta come out of
this person has over 8 wins now. Because so my Wall of Fame, the way it works is if you got on the first, I think 5, you only had to get a 7 fight. Yeah. But now every time that section fills up, I put one more requirement on it. So 8, 9, 10.
Okay.
It's so that, I mean, if you're really trying to get on it, you got to kind of
put in some work. Or show up and show out.
Yeah. So I think the people on it right now, Viking, J-Gottem, Turtle, Crazy Legs, and Terrifier.
I think you should put like a little design next to J-Gottem to this point, Steve. If you can.
Yeah.
In my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have somebody paint something on there or highlight it in gold or something. Or
there you go.
I got LB3 sitting here. You know what I'm saying? And there he is, man.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? What's going on?
What's good, y'all?
You missed the tribute, man.
Man, well, the tribute never ends.
Yeah, it never ends. Don't worry, man. I'm gonna run it again at the end of the show. Let me say it one more time. You know what I'm saying? This is my guy LB3. One of the guys running Pick Shoto. If you don't know, now you know. We've been talking about Jay. We've been talking about the event yesterday. Let us know what you think and how the event turned out. But before you get started, the fundraiser. I think the fundraiser did very well yesterday.
Yeah,
I think it did very well. There's a couple more shirts that some people want to get.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to hit you up on the side on that one to get some more shirts and all that. But give us your thoughts on the event and give us your thoughts on everything that happened yesterday as far as the respect they gave Jay.
Well, the event is amazing. Always, as always, I think that we come together in the yard to support each other, and we do that no matter who it is. Unfortunately, this particular event around Jay had to happen around Jay and his passing. But we celebrated the life of Jay, not necessarily the passing of Jay. And I think at the end of the day, the way we did it was very, very classy. It was amazing to have so many people come out and have so many young people that are new to the yard that'll be able to get that experience for the first time. So I think for their first time out at the yard, I met a lot of new guys. They're coming back for sure. I mean, because they felt the warmth, they felt the embrace. And I think everybody's participation yesterday meant a lot to the people that were there who did love Jay. I appreciated, June, you coming out, man, and doing your thing as always, man, representing Fight Team 206. There was so many people, though, I believe that had a special relationship with J-Gottem that really it took all of them to make and create what really happened. All we did as far as Fire Chick and myself was give them the platform to be able to celebrate his life.
Yep.
Okay. Well, you guys want to follow with that?
No,
I think that's beautiful, and I think that I really admire you, Fire Chicken, and you, LB3, for being like pillars of the community. I don't matter what you do, you're building community. I could, you guys, the culture that Fire Chicken has, I'm not gonna say established, but just from who you are and the character you have is a very warm and very, it's very warm and welcoming.
Yeah.
I mean, especially around like something as extreme as some backyard thing, right? But just regardless of what the organization is based on, if it's like if the leadership is centered on good morals and good principle, then
100%.
it's gonna like facilitate throughout the entirety of it. You know what I'm saying? And with you, LB3, like I could see what you're doing with Peixoto. It's like it's admirable as well because you're creating a community as well, and you two coming together. I like that. That's inspiring, actually.
I appreciate that. I mean,
learn from you guys, like as being younger. And
Well, like
I
he
wanna
was
see,
saying with the youngsters that was there, like Baby Gorilla's mom was there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His mom was at the event.
Well, I seen.
Oh, she's a big supporter. She really wants to get involved with the scrapyard. I love it.
I mean,
and I was telling them, like, I wish when I was 18 they had this shit going on out there with fights. We didn't have shit like that. Our fights was on the corner somewhere, hoping we didn't get jumped by the next dude.
Right.
This dude don't start busting because his boy getting beat up.
Right.
Yeah. I like the way LB3 he worded that too, where he's talking about we're not celebrating the passing, but the way he lived.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest messages, and how Steve was telling that that represents the yard the way J-Gottem is too, because it's all from the heart, and in every field, in every game, it could be like systematic.
Yeah.
But like, that human touch, that human heart, that warmth is what you guys are talking about. That, like J-Gottem was like probably like one of like the living like live living messages of that, you know what I mean?
The embodiment,
and it translates.
I mean, of a fucking warrior, bro.
The embodiment of a warrior,
of a straight goon.
And I
man.
admired that about him.
A goon, a real, like, and it's hard to find.
That's a man's man.
A real motherfucker, like, man.
Yeah.
And it's cut, and it's in the older I feel like the older I get, finding real people is starting to become more and more rare. More and more rare. They ain't got no problem with telling you, and that's what's wrong with I think with a lot of people in society. That's what I love about Jay. He ain't got no problem telling you how the fuck it is.
You know what? Oh, as far as Jay though, in respect to Peixoto, I mean, there wouldn't be actual team Peixoto without Jay. In the beginning, I don't know if you guys remember, we had like the Turco brothers and Simo and Rashad Shrugs, and that wasn't a fight team. That was actually just me sponsoring some of the guys, and sponsoring meaning that they needed help either getting to or from the scrapyard. A lot of people didn't know, and they needed an avenue of somebody that was in this side of town who could connect with them and give them some direction. But as far as J-Gottem and Viking, they created the team. J-Gottem came to me I want to say a little over a month ago, and he's like, bro, I want to put together an actual team. And I'm like, well, that takes a lot, right? We need a gym. You guys need places to train out of and different things. And at the time, Fire Chicken was creating his avenue for it was perfect. And I think Jay and Viking had the vision along with Steve that creating this team of guys and then having multiple places and then be able to have the avenue of training out of the scrapyard gym. That was just like an extra plus. These guys had visions that I didn't have. I'm just supporter. I'm just the backbone. I'm just that guy behind the scenes. But they brought together the team that is Peixoto now. And then I feel lucky to do that. I mean, I felt so blessed because again, like you guys say, the positive things that Jay laid out there, I mean, it was tremendous. When Jay first came to me in the very beginning, we decided to have a campaign around fighters because for someone like myself, and I know you guys with the experience, you kind of have to build up a campaign. You got to almost build up, you got to make sure your image is known. You got to be able to do certain things so that you work with people, or people that are going to want to work with you. And so that was really the creation of like the team Peixoto was getting those guys together and allowing them to have their vision.
Yeah, see, and that's what I'm liking. Like, it's transcribing to more than just fighting, right? Because the way you're describing everything is like that takes leadership, right? That takes someone with a vision, and that takes someone guiding other people, building people.
Yeah, man.
Like surface level, like we talk about it's just like backyard fighting, but it's grown into so much more that, and you dive into it's just like it's way more.
Yeah, it was just this society, guys, in America, and just in general. But we need more communities, and we need more communities for young men, especially.
Yeah,
you're
They
fucking
need
right.
that war energy needs to be controlled. Like when you were saying, when you were younger, like you didn't really have a positive outlet for that.
And you know what it is?
Nah.
It's a dangerous energy. Like you could,
Yeah.
some horrible things happen when that energy is not controlled. But if you have rites of passage, and that's what the scrapyard has been for me, is a rite of passage.
And you know what it is? It's like, go ahead,
you're good.
No, you know what it is I'm saying, like, for like, I want to see the breed or the controller, like the culture or the mentality of like, like fighting, right? Like if you didn't have an outlet for this, like a lot of the youngsters, that fighting can look down upon in the wrong setting, in the wrong environment.
Yeah.
But in this environment, it gives you recognition and a space to grow. You know what I'm saying?
People don't understand. It's like it's like you having a hard day of sparring, or like you might go to the scrapyard and fight. You come to work, you got a fucking mouse under your eye, and they look at you like, "Is he a fucking thug? Is he a goon?" It doesn't matter, white, black, whatever. Is he a thug? Is he a goon? But it's like, lady, you got no idea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just I could really be tripping on you right now. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like because a lot of people got a lot of anger, frustration in their heart, man, and just in their mentality. And I think to go out to the yard and get that shit out your system once a month is cracking. You know what I'm saying? That is a good thing because some people don't have gyms to go to. They don't have bags to hit. But you go out there and everybody's got the same thing. Like, okay, look, it's a safe environment. Anybody gonna get hurt? I'm gonna throw these hands because I'm already angry at some other shit. Is a good, like you said, it's a good outlet that I think people need to have. It's a great outlet.
And it could be a fucked up place too, depending on who's leading it and who's sending out the message. Because let's say, for example, with Baby Gorilla and J-Gottem, and he beat his ass, and he was just like, and he didn't correct him, but he just beat his ass, and that could stir a different direction. But
what was ironic about that, specifically going back to Baby Gorilla, was before when Jay put together the team and everything started, Baby Gorilla ended up reaching out to Jay, and Jay and him started to develop a relationship where he actually wanted to, and still does want to be a part of Team Peixoto. And so I think it was just like, that's just a true example of two guys getting in the ring. There was animosity that day. There was high energy. There was that particular day that Jay got fought with Baby Gorilla. Jay wasn't in the right mind space, and he took that space trying to come out of it, because what he was doing was he was dealing with trying to come down from being like really angry. And so what Jay did was he flipped his anger and he said, I'm going to help this guy get better. And that's why he ended up taking that. And so he did that to help him, but unforeseen that he would have that situation happened the way it did. But again, it turns back around to say that that's what's great about the scrapyard, and that's what's great about all of us. If we're dealing, like we were just talking about, mental health, right? And that's something that I want to touch on. But this scrapyard place is starting to become something bigger than just a place to fight. This is a place where we get counseling. This is a place where we have to deal with our mental health issues, because that kid getting hit by J-Gottem that day, to me, I would have personally never went and said, hey, bro, I want to be a part of your team. That shot, right? It would have swayed me away because of the energy that day and everything that transpired. But Jay and him connected, and I think that's what the beautiful thing is that those two have became connected. And like that with anybody else in the yard, it would have probably sure happened anyway. If it wasn't Jay or him, it would have happened. But that's what happens. I think a lot of times we get together and now we create that bond with two fighters, and it's amazing that kid wants to get get.
What made it great was it's like Jay had to explain to, because a lot of kids people don't explain to them their faults,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So Jay had to whoop him and explain to you why you got to whoop him. Like You my child, I'm gonna whoop you, but I'm gonna explain to you why you got this whooping.
And that's what I'm saying. You see this.
Right.
Yep. Tough love.
Yeah,
And Baby Gorilla is a good kid too. I mean, I really
Oh
like
yeah.
he is for
He's a
sure
good
a good kid.
No,
that.
you know he's a good kid because he takes a step back and he reflects, right? And he's not letting his ego get to the best of him, and he's out here actually listening to the older cats. You know what I'm saying? And I think what's a better way of investing in the future or like the future generations? Because you never know, this can come back around, and then he can be in the same situation with another kid, but now he's older, but he knows how he was done right.
Right.
See, the last thing we need is more. I know like fighting could seem like a zero-sum game. I mean, it is when you're competing. It is
Yeah.
like you win, I lose. But the way that you've built up the scrapyard and the community is like we're all trying to get through life together. It's hard enough as is. We don't need any more beef. We don't need more guns.
Yeah,
And people struggling with mental health. It's hard.
it's hard as
Modern
fuck.
life can be fucking hard. Man.
It is, bro. It's
This
hard
was-
as fuck.
Need to,
This was all set in place originally by Scarface with his guns down, gloves up movement, and we're trying to just keep in line with that, but also we're trying to be there for mental health and other issues now too, and really open up to people. I think that's what separates us from just a regular fight group is that we're trying to be there for each other. It's not just about the fighting. Like I said at the event yesterday, I said, hey, reach out, try to meet each other and introduce yourselves and be part of this. I've had people come to me and say that the scrapyards literally saved their life. Just what we've put together. You guys, some of you guys have fought amateur. You don't have that in amateur. You don't have that feeling.
It's very
because everything's so systematic. There's
it's very capitalistic.
It's because you're part of your own fight group, right? And you walk into a building, you got your maybe a couple teammates, you got your coach, and you walk in, you do what maybe your weigh-ins that day. I did some smoker shows too, so you weighed in that day. But everyone, you're just kind of looking at each other, and you're just like, oh man, I'm fighting that guy over there, and there's that animosity there, but because everybody's there just to spectate, they don't really. They don't have that love and that feeling for each other, and it's not built on anything other than just trying to progress as an amateur.
Yeah, and I see what it is because it's for money and it's for status and it's for fame. Like that's what thing I didn't like about fighting was, after I won my fights, everybody that I haven't talked to in forever hit me up and was like, "Congratulations, and you're this and you're that."
Yeah,
and I was like, man, it doesn't seem. It seems so fake.
It is.
It's not genuine
it
at
is.
all.
Yeah, it's
Because like
No.
if I lost, then that wouldn't have been the case.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a competition and that's how it is.
Well, at the scrapyard, even if you go in there and get beat up, get knocked out, everybody's still congratulating you for getting you.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody says, "Hey, bro, good fight. Hey, you win them, you lose them."
Yeah, tell people these are practice matches, guys. They are a fight, but it's built to build you experience.
And everybody checks on everybody, bro. If you hurt, everybody will go and make sure that you are okay, bro.
But we
You know
got
what I'm saying?
we got a lot of nurses now. We had like 3 nurses there yesterday.
That's good.
Yeah, people get hurt and people will go to them tips, but hey, bro, you had a good fight, but you're all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you don't get that in a lot of places. You don't get that at some gyms you go to. And you've been sparring with these dudes 2-3 years. They all right, well,
Yeah,
it's fucked.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
sometimes.
Yeah.
Man, some of my amateur fights, I don't even think they had a medical person there. Smoker shows and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all ticket sales, and they don't promote you because they're not going to make any more off you if they promote you, so they just don't do it because they're just trying to sell tickets.
Right. I know boxing. Our trainer was the only person that we had who was, sort of certified in, the first aid or the ramifications of fixing whatever might happen towards the injury, unless the doctor came. But other than that, it was just your trainer and your coach. You might have a cut guy but the cut guy was your trainer for me. So
yeah. It's a it's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Like I said, it is good that you got a place where you can go to and you can get it in, get the experience you need, all that good stuff, man. And nobody's gonna fault you for getting there. Now, granted, there's times I might get on you if you come to fight and you don't want to fight. I
Yeah.
might, you know what I'm saying? That type shit right there.
That's
You
the
trying
irritant.
to fight and you don't want to get in there and throw them hands because you nervous of the next person. Well, shit. Who said the shit was gonna be easy in the first place?
That's the fight game, man. Even back when I was an amateur fighting, you would show up to your fight, and one of my fights, I had my opponent show up to the event, see me, and not saying I was super intimidating, but maybe he thought I was, but he just turned around and left. Traveled all the way down from Olympia to Aberdeen, and that was the event that Dan Severn was at,
Ooh.
and it was our own our gym show. And we had like a place in the mall that we used. But anyway, the guy showed up, and then he just decided to leave. And I mean, it happened to me more than one time in amateurs, and it happens with what we do. I just think that when we match up at the event, the likelihood of that happening goes down, because when you're an amateur and you know who your opponent is, you got a picture of your opponent, whatever, you're thinking of your opponent, and it's going through your head, like, how's this fight going to go? I've seen what he does. But to be honest, like, when you get to an event, you don't know who your opponent is. It's almost like you haven't got a chance to like really fear the person you're going to fight, because you don't know who you're going to fight.
Yeah, very true. But like I said,
Yeah.
bro, if you show up, if you get your ass whipped, you get your ass whipped. Nobody's gonna fall. I think a lot of people get that mental block when they're like, "Damn, I don't want to get knocked out on YouTube." Well, fuck, bro. You don't think like that. If you knock them out, you know what
I
I'm
know.
saying?
Well, a lot of the time it's because they scout each other when they come, especially at the yard, right? We're at the yard. Another guy's over warming up in the corner, and the other guy's over here watching him warm up, and all of a sudden he starts to get intimidated. I've seen it happen with several guys that I'm not going to say no names, but I've had it happen directly in my own ear.
Yeah.
Look, man, and I was holding pads for something, like I was holding mitts for people.
Yeah.
And they were looking at some fools like, damn, I don't know if I want to, you know what I'm saying? And I hold mitts for guys all the time, and they're like, God damn, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, but it's dude, your mind, psychology. Like, even me, like when I fought Boombox, I kept telling, because I don't know who the fuck this guy is. I was
Right.
supposed to fight another guy. I'm like, who's this guy? He says
Looks me nothing, dude. I've seen guys come out there before that just look like I'm almost scared that they're going to get knocked out. And it's like, whoa, okay, I was wrong.
No, and then
Yeah.
I was like, I was asking, like, for when I was warming up, I was like, all right, June, like, go and do some recon.
Do
Like,
some
is
recon.
he warming up?
I'm
Is
like,
he
he's not
anything?
doing nothing, bro. He's
And I was
just
like,
walking
but your
around.
mind fucks with you. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he must be so good and confident that you never know.
Well, when you
never
fought
know
True
what's
Grit, man, he was in the back kicking the damn tree. You know,
Free.
he was
That was
kicking the
hot.
tree,
Yeah.
warming up.
Bro, I mean,
Maybe you didn't see that, but
I might have, but like there's only so many things you could focus on.
I think the biggest enemy before stepping in that ring is always your own mind. It's something that you have to conquer.
It's very
yourself.
mental, bro. It's
Yeah,
very
that's
mental.
the
And a lot of
biggest
people don't
thing.
have that. They don't have that.
That's life, man. It's
They don't have
just-
that mentality going in. And even with life, they don't have the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because every fight I've been into, win or lose, I'm showing up like, hey, bro, we're here. I'm not about to run.
Yeah.
We here, bro. We here. We might as well go ahead and get it in and get it over with. Because we
But
here.
put it in your mind that it's a hard spar, because then you can just crank it up when you need to. But if you're doing a hard spar with somebody, you guys are going pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The difference
That's
between
that's
a
a
fight
real
is
fight.
It's pretty
you're
much
just
fighting.
going harder.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, bro, I don't want to go to sleep today. That's selfish. If I fucking go, I'm not going to sleep today, bro. I don't want to. That's selfish. Lynn, are you there or did you freeze on
I'm
me?
here. No, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you from. I'm just saying, bro, because Viking be freezing on me, and I'd be like, this is motherfucking here, man.
Hey,
So
let's steer. What was it? 45. Let's steer it toward mental health. Let's steer it toward that.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So
so
I
if
want to
you're-
say that a lot of men don't have somebody to talk to.
right.
And that's just real shit. Like, I've been with my wife for 16 years, bro. And she can ask me if I'm okay, and I can tell her, yeah. But there's always so much I can tell her for her to relate to. You know what I'm saying? Because we grew up like If a man's got a problem, fuck it, suck it up and keep dealing with
Yeah,
it.
dude. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marines
I'm gonna
too.
let me tap on that real quick because I think it's something that I was hoping to get to on the show, especially being with Jay Gottem. Couple things that people also should know just about myself is that in the spiritual aspect of things, in my religion, I am a deacon of a church, and I do deal with a lot of things. I'm also a football coach. I ran a nonprofit for youth in South Seattle called with a team called Trust the Process. And what we dealt with was we dealt with underprivileged teams who challenged themselves or who were challenged with the dealing with mental health issues. And so we talk about men specifically. I wanted to just jump to that, June, because I'm glad you talked about that. But I wanted you guys to understand, and I want everybody listening to understand where it starts at. It does start with us as being young men, not men, because when we're young men or young teenagers or even at that young boys, we start to transition ourselves into a different way of thinking. About a year ago, there was a study through the University of Washington that I did about how mental health challenged or how mental health affected the youth in athletics specifically. And since we're in the realm of fighting and we do have to keep on the backside of our mind, somebody that was dear to us just passed away, and that was Jay Gottem. But it's dear to me because not only was Jay Gottem part of my team, I deal with that. I work with that with students now. And so I think what we have to do, all of us in the community, whether you're in the fight community, maybe you're somebody who's just doing, podcasting or whatever you're doing out there. There's a lot of these young people, young men specifically, and I'm sure women are the same way.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the young men, in order for us to have what we need back in society, things like having empathy, things like, talking to one another and being able to share openly, we have to touch ground with the young guys. These guys are happy. These guys are in high school, right? It starts when you go from middle school, 8th grade, and you transition into the high school student. Once you become in the high school student, now you're dealing with peer pressures. You're dealing with image. What do I want to look like? Who should I become?
Yeah.
Am I doing what is approving to my parents? And then again, it goes back. So if I'm doing with my if I'm not doing, or if I am doing what my parents want me to do, let's say I'm doing what my parents do want me to do, then what happens is I got to go face that with my peers, because a lot of times our peers want to take us from doing the things that our parents want us to do. And so what we have to do is we have to start tapping into these young men who are faced with those challenges. Okay. The other thing is relationships. If we don't focus on, which we do at the scrapyard, which is what I love about the scrapyard, which I loved about Jay Gottem, was building those relationships. But we have to continue to maintain and have those relationships. And I say maintain because a lot of times we meet people like each other and we don't talk to each other, but maybe once a month. We don't talk to each other, but maybe once a week, whether we're training or maybe we're shooting a video or maybe something's got to pull us together. What we need to do is we need to realize that there's those young guys out there that need us to gravitate to them on a more consistent basis, meaning every day, all the time, because it only takes one moment. It only takes 1 second for us to lose someone like we did Jay Gottem to mental health. Mental health, there's no time, place, or just like the bullet, right? I grew up in the hood. I'm from Skyway. You know what I'm saying? I did my thing. You know what I mean? And we was taught that, it only take that one shot, that one bullet, that being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, that's the same thing to be said about mental health. Your mind could be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And we need to make sure we tap into that and start fixing it, because there's never a wrong time to talk to somebody. There's never a wrong time to have somebody there for you if you need somebody to lean on. And this is what we got to tap into. And those young brothers that if we start, or young men, if we start grooming on them right now and start teaching them how to be better young men, then when they are men, they will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Facts.
that's
Facts.
I'm here
bro.
taking notes and stuff, and it's interesting because, I'm thinking, back in the day in tribes, right? What happen? The young men would be they would take the young men and they would be with them in like warrior societies, or that's the theory of apparently. And they're always with them. They're always guiding them if it was functional society.
Correct.
I think in today's society, and what June was saying too is reflecting is that like a lot of young men is told to pretty much steer away from the emotion if it's like time of emotional way or releasing a different outlet.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is that you have to face it, right? It's okay to feel, you know what I'm saying? You got to address it. Don't push it to a different type of outlet, you know what I'm saying? Like just confronting yourself pretty much.
And they have to understand, bro, don't be afraid to know that you have feelings, bro.
Yeah, that's
you
big
got
thing.
feelings, man. Because some people, like I said, a lot of people think that us men don't have feelings. We gotta keep that hard shell. But fuck, bro, we do though.
Yeah.
We may not show it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I one thing I tell my nieces and nephews when I train them, I'm like, man, it's okay to cry, bro.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that, bro. Even if you gotta go in the room and go cry to yourself, it's okay, bro. You know what I'm saying? But then there's certain times where people will use that shit against you as a weakness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to differentiate the two.
But that's the biggest thing. The way you're telling that your nephew and niece.
Yeah.
By you saying that, it's already you telling them to confront it, but then you move on.
Yeah.
But like when you're just pushing it away, or you feel like you're weak to feel that, then you're just like holding it in, and that when it becomes like a toxic,
dangerous.
It starts building up.
Yeah, it becomes real dangerous.
Right.
It's very dangerous when you don't have the outlet or nothing to let that shit out. The guidance.
What?
Dude, I've had mental health issues too. When I was in high school in boxing.
Yeah, I'm on a podcast. I can't deal with it.
Classic. We love that.
But like, when I was younger, high school, I had my first boxing match. I got pieced up, and I think I was concussed, and I was depressed, my whole ego, and then my girl broke up with me, and I was like, fuck, and I had no one really to like talk to.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, and I could see like where you go. Like I could see where it goes, man.
Yeah.
I could see why people feel the need to.
I mean, depression.
You know,
depression is a real thing.
It's a real thing, bro.
Man.
It's a real. Like I was saying earlier, bro. Like the way I was dealing with my type of like, I didn't know until my wife had to point it out. Like she was like, dude, when you get depressed, you shut yourself off, and then you start thinking real negative shit to do to the next person.
Yeah.
Even to yourself, but that shit ain't healthy though.
No,
because you seriously you sit down, you dwell on it hard, and that shit ain't cool. Like the shit I had to go through with my own family after my dad passed away, they did me dirty, bro. And it took me a minute to snap out of that mind frame to not really just fuck motherfuckers up for that bullshit.
Right.
And, it takes a minute to snap out of it, but
check this.
I was able to do that with no help, but some people do need that help, bro.
Yeah, they do. Mental health is such a high problem right now that here's a statistic. If we look at all the things that kill people, whether that's cancer or we talk about, whatever it is, cancer or even your daily accidents, people getting hit by cars and things. Do you know that depression is probably, I think it is the second thing that kills people on earth. On the day that Jay passed away, this is what's a crazy statistic. On Jay's passing, which was only a week ago, of 2023, 15,000 people died up to that point in the United States from the same way that Jay passed. I don't want to speak on how he passed, but the same way that he passed happened 15,000 people since the beginning of this year. That's how crazy it is. And we're only in the 4th month of the year. And so if this continues to rise, what will end up happening is that we'll end up with, like we did during COVID, people didn't realize that when COVID first hit us, there was 55,000 people that passed away at one point in time, but we didn't look at the fact that 33,000 people the year before that died from the flu. It's the same type of thing. It's the same thing that's happening. And so we look at depression and we're like, okay, well, it's something that we can handle. It's something that we can fix. It's something that we can help, right? But we have to look at it as it's being so detrimental in our society that is a huge reason why our population is decreasing.
And there's no, I'm saying that I want to relate that to it too, because it's not only just fucking personal. It's one thing, but like all these fucking school shootings and shit too. It's coming from a deep rooted place, in the mental health. Like, there's a lot of fucked up shit happening in society, and I think it could all correlate back to the same thing, which is mental health.
Well, with the technology, because technology is a lot better now than it was 20 years ago. Okay.
Right.
Internet's out there and people are, I think information makes people more aware. You know what I'm saying? But how do you tell how do you notice the signs though? They make people aware, but they don't really tell people what the signs are to look for. What do you look for to see if somebody has really got not issues, but how to be able to look at somebody and say, man, you all right? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, are you
But
good? You know, like
the University of Washington during that study said that the number one thing that they saw that in people that led to deep rooted depression was the simple fact that they weren't sharing.
Yeah.
Was the fact that they were quiet and closed down and shut off. When you see people shut off, it is time to talk to them. It's time to get them to come back, because a lot of times you don't talk, you don't say things, and you know, I mean, I hate to say it, like J-Gottem was a little bit different in aspect because he that was his vice. Being able to talk and being able to get out there, it was his way to escape the depression. So sometimes people were a little bit different, but the number one thing that we saw in that study at the University of Washington was the fact that people were disconnecting.
You know,
well, Lynn, I think it was you that said to me that was like, you know, there's people who they're so good at making sure that you're okay,
Uh-huh.
and making sure that you're happy that you don't see that they're having, you know what I'm saying? Like they're in that certain state
I
because they want
spoke
to make sure you're good, that you're not worried about them.
at
well,
J-Gottem's funeral. I did a speech and I wrote it in a poem format, and I read that to the congregation, and I tapped on that because that's what J-Gottem did for me. I wanted to help Jade. I want to help all the guys in my team. A lot of people, I think, from the outside looking in, think, oh, well, what does Lynn have to gain? I have nothing to gain but the grace of God. I do this because I do this to bless others. I'm already being blessed in my life by having all the riches of my nature, by having my family, having my children. They're going to college. Everything's happening that I want them to do. So I give back to those guys. But with J-Gottem specifically in that poem, I really did tap in on how I wanted to do for him, but he did more for me than he ever allowed me to do for him. I mean, giving him a Pushoto name is small, and giving him uniforms is small, but the things he gave me was so different. At the same time, we might have been able to share mentoring and advice towards one another, but we talked those long nights. You know, I'm not as close to him as Viking Warrior, and I think because at the same time they grew up together, but I've only known Jay for 2.5 years. And in those 2.5 years, I've gotten to really be able to not just become a friend with him, but also counsel him in those times of depression. And so I seen it firsthand, but he was always willing to do more for me than I could ever do for him. The last time I spoke with him in person, well, I wouldn't say in person, but one of the most meaningful moments that he had with me within the past month before we had a fight day set up for him to fight, and he got injured. But I won't go into all of that. But me and him met at we met at the Habit Burger with the president of Peixoto and my daughter, J-Gottem's wife, his two sons, and his aunt. We had a wonderful lunch. And typically for us as Peixoto, we're being the sponsor. We want to pay for the meal. But J-Gottem goes, no, I got everybody. Right. And for me, I never let J-Gottem do that. I never let Jay ever do that since we've been 2.5 years. If we go somewhere, I'm paying for it. If we go somewhere, I'm paying it for it, because it's not me, it's the team. It's the Peixoto that's taking care of it. The things I do for Peixoto, that's the sponsorship. But he took care of that lunch, and he sat down and he talked with my daughter about track. And he didn't have to do that. I mean, my daughter didn't come for that advice. We came to get drop off uniforms for the new team that he was putting together, and to talk about some business adventures that he wanted to do. And so, you know, I think that was the nature of Jake, was being able to look out for others and put others before himself. It was such a big deal. Now, when it came to fighting, right, he stepped in the ring and nobody was going to come before him. Right. That's just the way it was.
Yeah, that's how it is.
The fighter, right?
Yeah.
The warrior.
yeah, I feel like that could go back. I mean, we don't know Jay for that long, but you know, it could be incorporated when he was younger. When he tried reaching out, nobody was there. So
Yeah.
so he was always accustomed to taking care of himself, and trying to resolve his own battles with himself. But he's still trying to make sure to take care of other people because he knows what it feels like, to handle those battles and hear that.
Yeah. Me, Viking. I mean, me and Steve. I would say Viking was there too, but me and Steve, when we were at his funeral, I'm sure Steve, you can attest to this. We've seen a lot of guys that Jay grew up with, and those guys grew up with were a testament to kind of who Jay was, because we got a real good chance to see who Jay was before the last 3 years of what Scrapyard got. Right?
That's what's interesting, really, because we got a chance to see how his life was and everything beforehand, and how much differently we know Jay than what we were hearing from like other people talk.
Yeah, and that took time to build his character. That took tons and tons of time, and what you guys probably saw before then. Now you guys see the big picture, how that was, how he was formed.
Yeah, and you know what? If I could share real quick, because I don't know how much time we got on here, but I want to share a couple things outside of the depression, just some of the good stuff about Jay. Right? Jay, man, Jay did a couple things for us, and I remember specifically a couple things like when you got with Team Peixoto, it was required, if you wanted my sponsorship, to do something that made an impact in the community, to do something positive, to do something. We had all the guys fight for a cause, and Jay fought for autism, and I don't know if you guys remember that, but
I remember that.
His son, right? His son, and then babies, 4 and 5 years old, to have to go through what they go through. They're going through a lot. So, man, but Jay did an autism thing, and it was led the way for Simo to be able to do what he was doing, his campaign. But Jay did that, and then Jay, I don't know if people.
Is there feedback in the background?
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Somebody.
Am I tripping? I know I'm not tripping. Man.
No, I heard that shit too. Where's it?
Oh no, it's not me. I don't know technical devices over here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah. I think you were playing stuff, huh, Steve?
Oh yeah. I thought my mic was my
muted.
It must be running off my camera mic.
Yeah,
it's all good.
So all
good.
You probably heard me yell at my kids earlier.
Yeah, we heard that. Yeah, you're right though. That happened.
But with Jay though, not only did he do that, we were doing so many other things. Jay had a couple of events set up for his amateur stuff, like you guys know. He decided he wanted to do that, and so we supported that. He got with a couple of promoters, connected me with promoters, that allowed me to be able to do some other things moving forward. And so we, I appreciate Jay so much, because again, he fueled my dreams, things that I do. And with the team, I wouldn't have did it without Jay. So, I used to do things with the Emerald Queen with matchmaking. I used to do things and it's giving me that avenue to get back involved with people and with promoters, and being able to get back to, possibly, right? This is what's in the works, and you guys might want to see this is coming soon. But Peixoto is going to also have Peixoto Productions, where we'll be doing we'll have promoters, and I'll get back into promoting and things, and we'll have our own events, and we're going to start getting it back. We're going to start doing that again. I was so big in the game back in the day, but Jay, he fueled that for me, man. He's like, Lynn, you got to get back to it. If you can do it, let's do it. And he was always taking over, right? He's like, man, let's just take over the whole thing. So I was always like, let's do it. But Jay wanted to get into fights, so he had two things coming up that we were working on. One's in June and one was in July, at the end of July. One was in Idaho and the other one was here in town. And so we're trying to get those logistics worked out. I'll get with you, Steve, and we'll talk about some more of that. Same with you guys, Fight Team 206. If we got opportunities, I'll be letting everybody know if there's opportunities for guys to fight at the AMI events that we're creating and that we're a part of. We'll make sure everybody shared that. But that was also because of Jay. Jay was also doing an album that we were putting together. His single, Chief, was a song that we were dropping summer, get ready to shoot a video, everything for. We're going to go ahead and do that, because I worked on his BMI rights and his BMI Live distribution deal. And we're going to have to change some of it, because, of course, with his passing, his royalties need to go to someone. So we're going to pass those royalties over to his wife. and his children. And then we'll still drop the album. There'll still be a release date. Of course, we were gonna have a record release party. We're probably gonna shoot for our anniversary day at the Scrapyard. We're gonna probably shoot that. We'll drop the album on that day so that we can really honor Jay his birthday. And it's really dope that his birthday happens to be the anniversary of the Scrapyard. And so we're gonna drop the album. There's some
a lot going on.
Dude, I
speaking of the
found that out.
anniversary day.
I found
Go
that
ahead,
out at
Steve.
the funeral. Jay's birthday is on the day that we had our very first Scrapyard event. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Speaking of the anniversary, okay, Hitmon Lee, do you plan on making the return?
Oh,
I'm just saying, do you plan on making the return on the anniversary, the 3-year?
I said I was coming back to fight, so
Okay,
I'm still gonna come back.
is it in the works? We don't know, man. I'm just throwing it out there. It might be in the works, but you might have a highlight reel.
I know somebody else that's been heavily requested to come back too.
Who's that?
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, well,
right in the middle there, Arm and Hammer. I get a lot of requests for you.
You know, I don't necessarily like fighting. I wanted to prove myself. I'm still a warrior, and that's my mentality. But I think I kind of more drawn to like what Len's messages and like helping the community, and it's cool. It's all coming together, and it'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. But I think it's pretty cool, you know, fighting for a purpose other than fucking status and all that other kind of meaningless. I didn't do it for the likes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, everybody's got their own reasons, man. I just genuinely enjoy trying out what I've learned against other people and seeing the different, you know, that's what I get out of it. I could care less about how many views. If I get in there and fight, I could care less how many views my video gets. You know, it's just that I look at that as like, it's cool because someday I'll be really, really old, not just old like I am now, but really old. And I'll be like, I really did do this stuff, guys. Here's the proof. Here's a nice put together video. They didn't have that stuff back when I did amateur, and that's what's missing out of amateur promotions and even pro.
Hey, trust me, I feel that when I was like half paralyzed and I thought I was on my deathbed. So it's a different mentality for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only got one time, man, before we check out. Well, with that being said, man, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, well, I wanted to ask. So, going back to like mental health, like what are some things we can do to mitigate it in our lives? You wrote a study. It's interesting that you wrote a study in the University of Washington. That's pretty cool.
Well, I didn't write this study. I was just a part of the study.
Okay.
The study was a group of about 8 guys. Some of those were students who were talking with guys like myself. Reason why they talked to guys like myself is because I'm a football coach at a high school, and they were doing this study around youth athletics and how mental health affected them. So I was really happy to partake in that so that I can learn from the college students who are actually studying that as a point in their like psychology or their social work programs or whatever they were getting their masters in at that time. And so that was what it became. It was fascinating to me because, you know, I'm one of those guys that I like to get a lot of information so that I can share that information. And so that's what it is. But you know, your question was about the vice of one of the vices.
No. My question was, how can we mitigate it in our own lives? Like, what from the study or from your experience working with? What are some things we can do to stop the suffering as much, ease the suffering a little bit?
Well, it'll take a second, but I'm not going to get too long. First one you want to do is always make sure that you guys have or create a bank of positive words of affirmation. And when I say a bank of them, you need to write all those words down, because at the end of the day, if you could always think of this one or that one, but you're going to forget about the others. So write those down. Always be thinking of positive words of affirmation. Tell yourself every day how much you love yourself, how good people are to you. Tell yourself these things. And those words of affirmation, use them, right? If I say that my word for the day is, let's say my love, it's love or caring, right? Whatever. Use those words. Practice using them every day. And that's one piece. Another thing that we could do is similar to what we're doing right now. Social media and all of this technology has allowed us to now so many create more avenues that you're able to share this news, but not just share it, teach, right? We talk about of course in the religious world of having pastors or preachers or deacons like myself. When we give messages in the word preach, there's other words, right? So in the word preach, we must reach, and there's reaches in preach, but then there's also each. So you have to reach each person and preach to them constantly how they can have, how that positive affirmation can continue to work in their life. And so those are just some of the pieces that are great ways to kind of utilize how to stay in touch with your, without fall. I think anybody, again, it goes back to anybody can fall into depression.
Man.
Bad news is everywhere. It's all around us. It's constant. But I think we just also have to look, not just use those words, or we have to look for the positive things too in life, right?
Yes, dude. You gotta like formulate that. And with my own like struggles, like when I was darkest, I had nothing positive. Positive to say. And then having to go through my own journey, like I had to create that bank. Like when times are tough, times are gonna get shit. Like when I was in the Marines the past fucking week, I was like, there's a lot of shit I didn't want to do. I'm tired. I'm this and that. People bitching, moaning, complaining about certain things. And I always made it a habit to like, oh well, at least I'm not this. At least it could be worse.
It could be
Well,
way
what
worse.
we tend to do is we always want to compartmentalize things. We want to put all the good in this box and we put all the bad in that box. And so every time something goes on, we look at it as, okay, is this good or is this bad? And is it healthy or is it not? Is it positive or is it negative? We're always looking at things from that perception. What we need to do is empty those boxes, right? Stop having the boxes, open our minds up to stop thinking that everything is about bad or good, the do's, the don'ts, right? And we keep doing that. And so when we do that, we put ourselves and we fixate ourselves on the mental of there's only one way to do this. But
spiritual.
I'm caught in the middle because I keep putting things over here and there. What you don't want to be is caught in the middle. You have to be able to say, okay, this is positive and this is what I want to do, or I'm going to just empty the box. There's a thing that we were talking about. We used to say back in the day, and I'm sorry, but we used to say to drugs, right? Just say no. What we need to start doing is start saying yes. A lot of times what we're doing is we're always saying no because we think things aren't better for us. And I wasn't saying say yes to drugs. I'm saying say yes to the things that we see around us that are beneficial to us and stop running from it. We need to say yes to those outings with our families. We need to say to those moments of going on vacations or whatever it is to feel good. We need to say yes to that little young brother that's out there who's challenged and don't have a dad or don't have a brother. We need to say yes. You feel what I'm saying? We need to those things and stop those things away.
You know what's crazy is we're always shining our light on other people who needs, we feel like needs help and whatever, and we sometimes forget to shine the light on within ourselves.
Right. If you get $1,000, you get $1 million. A lot of times we thinking, oh man, I can't tell my family or I can't tell everybody because everybody's gonna ask for it. Well, yeah, you're trying to keep it all for yourself. It's the same way. If you got love and passion to share, don't hold it in. Give it away.
Dude, and we're so afraid. Scarcity,
Exactly.
Scarcity mentality, like fuck. Even here, like I was tired, man. I was like, do you guys need me for the podcast? And then I'm so glad I came.
And what do we say?
And I'm sorry,
yes.
I'm sorry that I'm saying that because this is for Jay, and like I'm glad I came. My heart told me to come, but at the same time, that monkey in me, the monkey mind was like, dude, you're tired. You haven't had 3 hours of sleep the past week. You've been this, and you've been smoking cigarettes to stay awake, taking energy drinks at 12 a.m. to fucking do that, driving to Yakima, the base there, and coming back, and but then just say yes. Start saying yes to those things are fucking good for you.
That's right. And then the last thing I got for everybody, man, is Pishoto. We're putting up our new website where you guys can now get more merch and more lines for each season.
Go.
That good stuff.
And so do you have a church, sir? What is the church you preach at?
So we're at Trinity Faith Temple in the Central District of Seattle.
Well, I say that again, sir.
Trinity Faith Temple in Seattle, Central District.
That's on. Is that on Union?
That's on. It's on 19th and James.
19th and James.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
19th and James. Okay.
Trinity.
you guys are always welcome to come out. Listen to a word. It's a little different. So, I
The one on Unions, that's Zion. That's Zion. I'm tripping. Okay.
Yeah. No, we're non-denomination. I believe in unifying all religions, no matter where you come from. That's just my take. I believe that a Mormon, I believe that a Muslim, I believe that a Catholic and a Christian should be able to hang out and be together as one.
Yes.
No matter where you come from, no matter what walks of life we are from. I'm a mixed up person. I'm Irish, Greek, French, Canadian, Italian, black, white. You feel me saying? So
Yeah.
you feel me? And that's just where I come from. My grandma was Greek Orthodox. You feel me? But man, I just, it's not really, I just, man. But
We
that's
just need more good in the world. Everyone needs to just get the fuck along. Can we just invent like nuclear fusion and have robots do shit so we can just get along? You know what I'm saying? Like
the robots do it, we won't have no jobs though.
I know, but then we can.
Right.
You're right. I'm sorry, man. That's just me. But I feel like that we all share a lot of values. I kind of see. It's pretty cool.
We're all human under
Yeah.
the same sky.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap this up, man.
Let's wrap it up. I got one thing, June. Viking Warriors holding a GoFundMe currently right now for J-Gottem's family. Obviously, J-Gottem was the Jeremiah was the breadwinner of his family. Without that, they don't have what they need. So Vikings putting things together in the realm of that. Pishoto and the Scrapyard will be popping one out real soon here. In respect to the fighters and those in the fight community or the Scrapyard or Street Beefs community, if they want to donate to his family. But it is very well needed because, of course, you're dealing with, the loss of one. And sometimes we don't never expect to lose the lost one who was the breadwinner of our families.
Yeah. It's just
so.
Yes, sir.
We need more men. We need more pillars of communities. We should put that description to the GoFundMe into our at least. And then, I'm going to donate as well.
I don't have it on. It's on my phone. I'm on my phone right now on the podcast, but Viking Warrior can share that with you guys. And then once me and Steve get together and do the GoFundMe through the Scrapyard, we'll share it with you guys. I apologize.
Definitely. All right, Steve, you got anything else you want to tell us?
Thank you for having me on. It's truly an honor. You guys were the first podcast that I was ever on, so I always love coming back.
Back in the day, I was a while ago too.
I want to shout out everybody that has said good things about Jay, that has shown up, whether it was to the Scrapyard event, the funeral, or even just had kind words to say. So I appreciate everybody in our community, and I feel like we come up with some good ideas, and we're going to just continue to grow and do the best that we can and make this community the best one around.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can change the thought process of some of the people that look at us and see that we're more than just a fight group, and maybe they'll accept us more. But
yeah,
as long as the right people accept, we just keep the culture.
That's true.
Nice and smooth, man. Yeah. All right, y'all. LB3, thanks for being on. Steve, man, we love you. I'm gonna play this tribute one more time, man. If you guys want to watch real quick, but we're out of here. Love you guys. Y'all be good. All right.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, man.
Peace out, guys.
And then if you guys are still watching, please, if you could find the link for that GoFundMe, put it in the comments or something. Like, can you do that? Like, copy it or do description so we can find it. That way we could put it into the description, possibly.
Yes, please. We're gonna run this for you guys who missed it earlier. We're gonna go ahead and run this for y'all so y'all can go ahead and check this out. Please enjoy.